How you doing?
Hey everybody, good morning. I'm going to record the pre-show today for the first time ever, and we're going to test it out. And maybe, just maybe, I'll start posting the pre-show to my YouTube channel. So we'll see. Where I'm going to do it today, and then but if attendance goes down, I'm not going to do it. It's going to be got to be here. So we're going to record it. But look who's here. What's up, Leah?
Hey, hi everybody.
Leah,
I'm here in Safety Harbor.
She is. You're going to a Diana thing. Diana Kokoska's in town today at the spa, doing a thing on her book, and I'm going to go down and see it too. And it's going to be a ton of fun, which is going to be great. So she stopped by. You've not been to my office before.
No, I have never been here.
She said you're literally across the street from CVT. I am across the street from Cafe Vino Tinto. True story. I have a question. I'm going to ask you the question first,
Okay.
and then we'll open it up to the group. Let me switch the view to speaker. If someone, it is, let me rephrase this. What is today, the 8th of February?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So we're, 40 something days into the year. If you had an agent who was already behind, like they had big stuff planned for the year, but they're already behind, what would you suggest to them?
I would say 3 open houses a week,
Mm-hmm.
5 actual phone conversations a day,
Okay.
5 text messages a day, and
Okay.
5 direct messages a day.
Okay. That sounds familiar. I like that. Oh, you couldn't hear Leah? She said 3 open houses a week, 5 direct contacts a day, 5 text messages a day, and 5, what was the other one?
So we said open houses.
Open houses, direct messages,
And calls.
text, and calls. I have one mic, Nicole. There's one mic, and it's right here. So she's going to have to talk into my chest, which would be a little weird because Kelly might be watching and Terry might be watching. So that would be a little strange. So I'll just repeat what she says. So she didn't tell me she was coming until 7:27. I want to know from you, if you're behind already, you had big plans going into the year, 40 days, 39 days, however many days we are into the year, and you're behind, what advice would you give somebody who's already behind? Maybe they're only behind 1 listing taken, or they're behind, 1 under contract, or maybe they're behind 4 or 5. What advice would you give? Dan, start us off. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. Yeah, well, my coach has me reading Fanatical Prospecting, and it's like the 3rd time I read this book, and everything's starting to come up, regurgitating in my mind. And starting this Monday, I'm going all out for a 30-day challenge on my lead generation of 80 conversations each week.
So you're doing a challenge, 80 conversations a week for a month. And what do you do right now, Dan? I mean, I feel like you're pretty good at getting your prospecting in. I mean, you're kind of the guy that gets it done.
Well, yeah. Thank you. Actually, just before I jumped on here, I went into my internet leads and I started sending messages out to the leads that had clicked on properties that they favorited, and sent out a message: are you available this weekend to see this property or any other properties?
All right, so you're reaching out, you're following up with the old leads, staying in touch with people who've raised their hand, and I love it. The reason I'm bringing it up now is because if we're behind, let's fix it February 8th instead of June 8th. And a lot of times we wait to have this conversation after a quarter's up or after 4 or 5 months are up, but I'd rather have it, I don't know, what are we in, 6 weeks into the year or something like that. Carol Castle, hello.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, listen, lead generation is math. So what are you behind exactly? And then say, what are the days left? Like, what have you done? So it's not like a huge number. You divide and conquer. What is the gain you need to get? Maybe it's only, I need 2 more things, or I need to increase by 3 more calls, or I need just this. What's the incremental increase? Don't make yourself crazy. It's just math. Doesn't Leah say that all the time? It's just
say that all the time?
math.
Yeah, Leah does say that all the time. I've
Does.
confirmed. She's sitting right next to me.
It's
Yeah.
just math. Don't make yourself crazy. And then here's the thing. Go fish. Add some fishing. Guys, in command, you can attract buyers and sellers on command ads. I do it all the time. It works. Go use command. Hello.
Carol, 10 and 2. Carol, 10 and 2.
Carol, 10 and 2. Carol, 10 and 2.
You were in New York City driving around. Be careful. How's the traffic? Well, don't tell me now. You're muted again. But be careful out there. I love it. It is math. Gary says
The traffic's normal. It's good.
okay, put your hands on the wheel, Carol. The path is in the math. There's no doubt about that.
The path is in the math. There's no doubt about that.
All right. Gary says it all the time. You say that all the time. It's a game. Just run the plays, figure out contacts to appointments, go get it done. Carol Castle, thank you. Here's what I'm asking the people. By the way, Leah McCann in the house, if you're just joining us, who's an elite team leader and one of my favorite people. If you're behind already, it's February 8th, you're behind on goal. Now what? Jack Smith, did you get the hairs cut today, Jack?
I did, James, all 7 of them. You know, I got to get all ready.
2 more than
You know,
me.
Gotta get all ready. Listen, let me just say this. And I was on a call. There was a bunch of us on a call. Kathleen Gard had asked us to talk to agents about the referral groups and how we're setting up our businesses with working with referral agents. And the bottom line for me is this: I start at 6:30 in the morning with Ellie. I go to you at 7:20. Then I go to Chris Hurley. And if you set up yourself a routine, you set yourself up for the day. And that we were talking, Ellie and Lee were talking about the 2024 thing that you set up. And I'm amazed at how many people are having a hard time with it. But the bottom line is, if you just do something, as you heard Kimberly, whatever her name is in Atlanta, say, if you just do something, you have no choice to succeed, right? Just do something.
Kimberly Wallace is who you're talking about, who got in her real estate bag. You're right. Do something. What Jack's talking about is our pipeline market challenge that we did at the start of the year with our Inspire members. Hold on. I'm going to take this off now and hand it to you because you texted me last night. We were on date night. Not you and I. Lee and I were not on date night. Terry and I were on date night, so I didn't respond to you yet. But tell them what you told me about the pipeline market challenge.
So I took that personally for us as a team leader, and then Kelly started the Pipeline Market Challenge. And I think just this week alone, he took 6 listings, just under $4 million from people that were in our database. And it just was a matter of connecting with them. And they're either past clients, direct referrals, or they came from an event we had.
I love it. The idea, hold on, stand by. Let me get hooked back in. The idea behind the Pipeline Market Challenge was to break it down to the ridiculously simple. Like when you logged into it, you're like, oh, that's it. But if you just run that play every day, and your husband's, I mean, you guys have had a very successful team for a long time. This is not like you're a new launching business. And your husband's been a great salesperson for a very long time, but still that's a significant number of listings in a short amount of time.
Yes.
Just by running the plays. So, if you are an Inspire member and haven't done the Pipeline Market Challenge, you can start it at any time. It's in the portal under January, and then we're doing a reboot of it first week of March. So hopefully you'll come and do that. All right, Valerie, what do? You're behind, not you. I don't know if you're behind goal, but let's say you're behind goal. What's your advice?
Challenge yourself to a bold 100, and actually doing it with a group is even more fun. Dan Tamarkin did a bold 100 and a bunch of us got together. It was fun.
Do it in a group. Of course, we have Ellie's Epic Bold 100 too. If you go to jamesdshaw.com and type Bold 100, it'll pop right up. You can see exactly how Ellie runs hers. I think Ellie McIntyre has the most elite model for a Bold 100 in all of Keller Williams, period, the end. So I'd follow her model. So Valerie, thank you. Great share. Dawn, if you're behind goal already February 8th, what steps are we taking? Let's go.
As an agent who is behind goal, I actually started, I took the Pipeline Challenge to heart, and I started calling people, and I'm just calling my database, like you said, that haven't talked to in a long time. And I have one seller that came back, and then just actually shifting and making, like, I don't want to say it's mindset, because I know it's mindset, but like my whole outlook on things this year from that challenge, and just asking for help, being in front of people, talking to other agents in the office, and actually doing the work has changed everything for me. So I have like 5 or 6 active buyers. I have my highest buyer at they're $1 million. It's the highest I've ever had, and they're amazing people. And I got 2 under contract within hours of each other negotiating, and it's just, my confidence has grown from that, and just talking to people and actually reaching out to people on here. So it really is just doing the work and calling your people and staying in touch and just saying hi. And Leah helped me as well in the beginning of the year, and I have my event coming up and the touch for my event, and it's just doing it. Yeah.
That's amazing. When you do the action, you get the results.
Exactly.
The whole idea is to build the pipeline, which is what you've done, right? You've got 5 buyers in the pipeline. That's what we're looking for. And to keep it going and just always never be nervous. I don't want you to be nervous about where's the next deal coming from, because you go to your pipeline and you look and you go, ah, there it is right there. There's my next deal. Well done, Dawn. Proud of you. Holla.
Good morning, and definitely to be in schedule every morning. I am not early bird yet, but I am pivot shift until 8:30, and to be in system every morning until lead gen, serving my client in the afternoon. I don't show property in the morning at all. I've been blocking this my time maybe for the last 4 years consistently. And I did start to not only calling people, because I've been doing the DTD2 for a while. And a lot of people, even from the group, know I call them quarterly. And I start to send a letter to I did the equity analysis yesterday. I did 8 of them, and on their home anniversary, and I called them in the same day, and they said, oh my gosh, we don't know it's our home anniversary. 8 of them yesterday, and I'm sending letter for neighborhood who've been in their houses for 10-15 years too.
That's great. Key thing she said in there is, Hala, you don't do showings in the morning. And I think that's good advice. I mean, there are gonna be times we probably will do them, but as a general rule, to not do them in the morning is really smart.
Yeah,
those of you asking,
there's exceptional some client. I mean, they have one schedule. No way, definitely,
Right.
but not 99%. No.
Yep, I agree. Some people put in the chat, what is DTD2? It's just a system to follow up your database. So 2 letters by last name every week. That's it. Barbara, help us out. Let's say we're behind goal. It's only the 8th of February. We want to get on track. What's your advice? Let's go.
All right. So my advice is pick 2 or 3 plays and run them, not like 7 to 10, which I was trying to do in the beginning.
How is that working for you, Barbara?
So much better. And then the other thing I was doing is I'm just tracking to see what results I'm actually getting, because not only was I running 7 or 10, but I wasn't being consistent enough with the tracking, so I wasn't really seeing what results were coming in. So there's that. And then there's also piggybacking on what Jack said, which is, getting on these calls. I just started something really exciting this week, which is I started early birds for the first time. So I've been doing everything else. I've been doing your calls. I've been doing the power hour, but the early birds, I figured out I could do it because I do the gym from 5 to 6. So I'm actually 6:30, I'm available. I didn't realize it. And it's been great, because then you don't have a lot of time to fill your head with garbage if you're on these calls. Not only are you getting knowledge, but you're not giving yourself time to, fill it with the negative stuff.
That's good. Early birds, what Ellie and Lee Corey, Ellie McIntyre and Lee Corey have created with early birds on Clubhouse. It's legitimately the only thing still happening on Clubhouse. It's like probably their #1 most listened to thing. It's great. And you can get on there and learn. The encouragement I always make is don't be an observer in that, and get up on stage and be willing to role play, because that's where the learning happens. The learning doesn't come from observing. The learning comes from participating. And I encourage you to do that and see how it helps you become better. Ellie, you're next. Yeah, what you and Lee are doing over on Clubhouse with early birds is awesome. But what's your advice to someone who's behind?
It's funny you say that, because we did do the pipeline challenge this morning. So this right here, I don't know if you can see this. This is my pie pizza oven, solo pizza oven that, ironically, you mentioned that, I'm doing my epic bold today. It's been a 30-day lead up to today. I've got 175 people to call today. And when I talked to Dan to Mark, and my day starts at 5:30 with script and role play and goes all the way through. But Dan and I were talking about what questions I'm going to ask. So I have 2 different groups of people. I've got my database who I'm talking to, and then I also have the community, because we've been putting it out there, and it always has to come back to real estate. So I'll be having over 100 conversations today about real estate, but being very intentional about it. And my only investment was this little guy right here. So, and doing an epic bold is definitely going to uncover some business. And my goal is to have at least 10 pipeline pieces of business added today by making those calls.
I want that solo stove thing.
It's so cool.
I know, and I said I want the whole pizza thing in the back. But Terry's like, I'll use it twice.
No.
So I don't have it.
think you would, but it's a luxury item that you might not go out and buy. And Lee found a special. She's doing hers next week, and it's just a reason to have people sign up. And we're not even shy about the fact of, hey, we're going to talk about real estate. You sign up for a competition, you might win a pizza oven. What do you have to lose? 5 minutes of your time. So it's putting that in place to have those conversations. But the pipeline challenge part, we had a really good mastermind around that this morning. And the ending line was, if you're not in Inspire, why not? Because even though I think most of the people on Early Birds are in Inspire,
Yes.
but this is a game changer.
Yep. I agree. Thank you so much for saying that. By the way, this is a solo pizza oven. This is not the solo stove thing that sucks the air out.
No. It's
I'll
awesome.
need that.
See, that is it. And then it tells you all about it. And here's here we go. Look at that delicious pizza.
Ellie, I have 72 referrals for Baltimore that I'd like to send your way right now. I'm going to go just pull names out of the phone book.
Perfect.
And send them to you. And then can I get entries? I want that so bad. I might buy one today. Hopefully Terry's not watching. I'm about to get a message if she is. Thank you, Ellie. Appreciate you. Kimberly Wallace, or as Jack Smith calls you, Kimberly, what's her name? Good morning. He loves you, but couldn't remember your last name.
It's okay. I'll go by Kimberly. What's her name? Just send me a referral to Atlanta, Jack, and then it's all forgiven. So for me, I have been farming a neighborhood, and I've gotten like 2 listings from it just in like 6 months. But my coach told me to be more intentional. So I'm going to start door knocking, and I put it in the playbook and in my schedule every Friday to door knock that neighborhood, to bring something of value. And I start this Friday. And I think for me, it's more about the intentionality of the business. I see where my business is coming from. I see that it's referrals. I see that it's from my gym. So I am going to start pumping into that so that it can come back to me tenfold. And even though I'm not really behind, but I want to get ahead. So for me, I'm going to do the Pipeline Market Challenge, and I'm going to be intentional about my farming and about my door knocking. So, and I wasn't going to do an open house this weekend until yesterday. You said, go do open house. Who cares? And so I'm going to do an open house on Super Bowl Sunday with football balloons. And, because that's what gets business for me. Every time I do an open house, I get business. So that's what I'm doing.
We should do the things that bring us business, Kimberly. That's what we should do. And did you hear what she said? She's doing the extra stuff, not because she's behind, but because she wants to get ahead. That's because she's been behind, and that's not a fun game to play. So let's play from up front instead of playing from behind. I love that. That's a great share, Kim. Thank you so much. Julie, good morning in New Jersey.
Hi, good morning. So one thing I'm doing, and one thing that I've shared with someone else yesterday, I have a new listing coming up, and I've taken all the different strategies, picked and choose. I think somebody said, I don't know if it's Julie Hess, that her goal is to get 3 transactions from 1 open house. So I've just taken the strategy that I put together a list, and I'm going to execute it as if it was my first listing, my first day of real estate, and I didn't know all the other stuff. So door knock, the 100 for 3 days and do the open house. I think you said it, Friday, door knock Wednesday for an open house Thursday, do the whole thing. And then I was actually speaking with an agent I'm coaching, and she had said, I don't have anybody left to call. And I said, all right, so here's what you're going to do. You're going to reach out to the agents in your market center and say, can all the busy agents, all the dead leads or the leads that they don't have time to follow up with, they came in through social media or open houses, ask them if you can follow up for them, and then you'll give them a referral fee or even split it because they're not doing anything with them. So she's starting that today. So I'm excited to see how that works out.
That's genius. Julie, I like you a lot. Thank you for sharing. Kay Condon, what are you going to do if you're behind?
Hey, good morning, James. It is number one, don't panic because that's not going to do you any good. You have to focus on breaking things down like you did with the pipeline challenge. If you feel like a bold one.
Whoops, I muted you by mistake, Kay. I meant to mute somebody else. Go ahead.
That's all right. Thank you. If you feel overwhelmed by the bold 100, go do 50, do 30, do something. Donna Gilbert, one of our heroes, You know, just to quote her, you have to decide what you're going to do to make this business work. It's not easy, but it's not difficult either. You have to have the confidence to go talk to people. You got to get in front of people, break it down. It's just like doing Ignite, the very first class we take in Keller Williams. You know, 10 postcards a day, go do open houses. You got to get in front of people, whether it's on your phone, you got to have conversations. I've been farming a neighborhood, sending out postcards every time I just listed, under contract, and closed. I've got 2 come list me calls and somebody wanting in CMA tomorrow from this neighborhood because I've been keeping in touch with them and I've gotten to know the neighbors and people are talking about me, and 2 other realtors live in that neighborhood and I'm getting the calls in January and February. You got to get in front of people. And that woman from South Africa that you had on yesterday or the day before, she said, I did the basics, I was consistent, and now I'm living the dream. You know, I mean, we hear Gary Keller talking about it and you quote him a lot. This isn't complicated, but you have to do it every day. You just don't panic, stay after it, and just break it down. And if you're behind the goal, 12-week year says break it down to a week. What do you got to do this week? You know, maybe you're not gonna be able to catch up to your big, huge goal. Rethink the goal, which you and John Acuff have said several times, and do what you got to do. You got to get in front of people. Thank you.
Great share, Kay. That's a great place to stop. So I hope y'all like this. I hope you got some good ideas. I hope you got some strategies. If you're behind, it's okay. It's early in the year. It's all right. No problem. But pick a play and go run the play. That's good stuff. All right. We're stopping the recording. So if you're watching the recording, because I recorded the pre-show for the first time ever, we're stopping it. You're going to miss the rest of the call. Sorry for you. Feel bad. Got to find the button. Where are you going? Oh, you're getting your water. We'll start the real call here in just a second.